Thank you. Yeah, so first I want to thank Sprocraft and all of you for having me today and for the opportunity to share my personal experience with all of you. I want to say that I'm not a person that is especially talented in learning new languages. I do not come from a bilingual or multilingual family or society, and I do not have that special hearing that is due to have when you talk a foreign language. But life has taken me to a place where I need to talk a second language every single day. And I think it's not only me, but we all have been through globalization, and we all have to read and understand 2 or even 3 languages.
That's right.
Yes. But before we start, I want to say that Spanish is my mother tongue. I come originally from Mexico, and I learned English at school only as an extra assignment, and I learned some basic German. And after that, I came to Norway as an adult. I was 30 years old, and I was an international master student. So English and Spanish are both so important languages that they open opportunities. And I didn't feel the hurry to learn Norwegian. So I can say that everybody speaks English here, and there is a lot of people who wants to practice their Spanish with you. So my mother tongue was useful and popular. Therefore, it was easy to find locals who wanted to talk my own language. So I didn't want to commit myself to learn Norwegian in a formal way because I found it expensive and boring, and I felt like I had studied enough. So I felt that I was wasting my time trying to speak Norwegian with other foreigners and not with locals. So I was like he was saying, I was kind of out of the box because it was a very formal way, but I was not really interested. Then I learned a basic Norwegian quite fast, and it was enough for getting a job in a tourist center. And we all know that in tourism, they need people that can talk many languages. And at that time, Norway was the top destination for Spanish people before the crisis arrived in Spain. So I knew that I was going to learn Norwegian by working through practical experience and real situations. And that's what I wanted. But then my problem was that it was not as easy as I thought. It was actually a big challenge because while working, I had to talk to different people, and most of the visitors in Oslo come from the countryside. So it means that they talk with their own accent, their own way, and intonation. So there are in Norway as many dialects as there are places where people live here. So everybody keeps their own accent, even though Norwegian is relatively seen as an easy language to learn. So having so many accents in a low populated country makes it difficult for me to try to copy the pronunciation. Sometimes it sounds like a completely new language, even though you have been learning it for a while. So, and I experience this not only at work, but everywhere, at school, at a doctor, in the shopping center, in the website each side of the city. One of the biggest challenges working in Oslo has been to recognize and understand Scandinavians talking to you. In general, visitors from Sweden and Denmark expect you to understand their own language. So even English-speaking or German-speaking people, visitors expect that you understand their language. So this makes the language comprehension more complicated.
Sorry for the interruption. I think we don't know if this goes to Zoom, so that's right.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Yes.
let's go. Yeah.
And then, if you stay longer, when you become a long-term resident, until a certain point, you realize that if you don't improve your Norwegian, you will always miss point in conversations, or you would not follow what is going on, or understand jokes or the culture. So you will never be seen as part of society or included. So if you want to get your permanent residence permit, or you have to prove your efficiency in Norwegian. So it means that you have to pass a test in Norwegian. But after a while, talking a foreign language, you express yourself different all the time. And not talking your mother tongue requires you to be concentrated all the time. It is like you need to act, to imitate sounds, maybe to go out of your comfort zone. So we know that languages represent a certain view of how the culture sees the world, how they experience the world. For example, a long cold winter. So it's a world that only exists here in Norway. So the more I speak Norwegian, the more I wanted to not stop talking my first language. I felt that if I stopped speaking Spanish, my level would go down, or I could even start to lose my culture, my own identity, or how I see the world. So you know that migration has different stages, and I think in my attempt to find an adaptation to the new country's culture, norms, and language, it became an identity question to me. It is very common to link your interests and hopes in life to home country, the home country you left. And this could act as a barrier to strengthening language skills. At the same time, I get sometimes tired of talking a second language. So it's very easy for me to switch back to Spanish and then back to think and dream and communicate in Spanish. So coming to a stage that I take a break and maybe avoid improving the new language. Of course, you are yourself uncomfortable in your own mother tongue, and I understand that I want to be seen as a citizen in Oslo who wants to contribute to the use of two languages. So the good thing for me is that having a first language that is one of the most spoken languages of the world and popular makes it very easy to use it. So I do use both languages every day, and I'm always looking for spaces that allows me to develop both. And the third thing where I learned is the motherhood. So when I become a mom, you know, we all who have children must relate to society and talk to a foreign language. So, and adults can survive by working and not connecting with anyone in the greater society, but the children will usually make friends, be invited to parties and activities, both during and after school. So as a mother, you have to deal with your children's friends and parents, and you have to fit into an environment. So maybe you don't have to have the same attitudes, but you have to at least understand and accept other people's preference, culture, and languages. So at this point, one thing is clear, and it's that language is power to communicate, express your ideas, being part of society. And in my case, I work every day for raising bilingual children.
Very good.
And I not only work for this at home, but I commit myself and work in MIR. MIR is an organization that supports the value of multicultural communities, and we see every single parent, culture, and language as a resource. And we are interested, among other things, in increasing the level of Norwegian language and integration in society through activities, different activities. So if you want to check it out, just go into Facebook or Instagram, or just write an email and then just keep in touch. Thank you.